Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Simisola Atiku. The tussle for the Emirship seat in Kano continues as the State High Court, presided over on Monday, has issued an interim injunction restraining Aminu Ado Bayero and 4 other dethroned emirs of Bichi, Rano, Gaya and Karaye from parading themselves in that capacity pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice filed by the applicant. The presiding judge, Justice Amina Adamu Aliyu, gave the order upon hearing of ex parte application by counsel to the applicant Ibrahim Isa Wangida, dated May 27. The case was filed by the Kano State Attorney General, Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly, as well as the House of Assembly, against the 5 emirs. Justice Aliyu thereafter fixed June 11, 2024 for the hearing of the motion on notice. Prior to this ruling, the deposed emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, had been parading himself as emir while occupying the Nasarawa royal residence, but now he's been asked to stop. To further discuss the Kano Emirship tussle is Editor-in-Chief, Solar-based online newspaper, Abdulateef Jos. He, of course, joins us from Kano. Thank you for coming on the program. Now, a few days after Mohammed Sanusi II was restored to his position as Kano's 16th emir, unrest broke out in the state, prompting the governor to order the ousted Emir Bayero's immediate arrest. The State Police Commissioner, Hussaini Gumel, disobeyed the state governor's directive to detain the overthrown emir. How appropriate is this action by the State Police Commissioner?
You see, with what we have at hand presently, the first court order that came was last week, and the order was on Thursday, whereby it was served on Friday, and restraining the reinstatement of Mohammed Sanusi II. That is the order that the Nigerian police and other security agents said they are obeying. Incidentally, on Monday, which was yesterday, on Monday, there was another court order from a Kano State High Court that now restrained, sorry, that now directed the police commissioner to evict Aminu Ado Bayero from his residence, from his mini palace presently. But in the course of these, 2 other court orders came out today again. The court orders that came out today, one is saying that Emir Mohammed Sanusi II should not be evicted from his own palace. Another one that came out from the Federal High Court said Emir Mohammed Sanusi should be evicted from the palace. So right now, as we speak, we have 4 court orders on ground. So that is what I'm trying to explain to you now, that there are 4 court orders on ground. And the security agents have said they're going to implement and obey the first court order that came out. So that is where the situation is, because this is going to create chaos in the town.
Protests have been carried out across Kano by angry residents protesting, speaking against the abolishment of the 5 emirates, the deposition of Aminu Ado Bayero as the emir of Kano, and the reinstatement of Mohammed Sanusi II in his stead. Now, one would believe that the people will gladly have things back as they were before former Governor Ganduje changed them, but the reverse is obviously the case. What are your thoughts on this development?
The situation has been polarized politically. Those that are protesting, they are mostly supporters of the throne emir Aminu Ado Bayero. Those other protecting the palace presently of Emir Mohammed Sanusi II are those that are in support of Mohammed Sanusi II. So it is not Kano resident per se. It is the supporters of the 2 groups. It is the supporters of the 2 groups. And you can now even interpret that to be the supporters of APC and supporters of NNPP. That is just what it simply means.
With the reinstatement of the 16th emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, do you also believe it was politically motivated, following allegations that former Governor Abdullahi Ganduje deployed the federal might to impose the deposed emir of Kano, that's Aminu Ado Bayero, on the people of Kano State?
That is not the situation. You see, what we're really talking about now is the state is governed by NNPP-led government. And when Sanusi was reinstated last Thursday, there was a court order that said, don't reinstate him. And some are looking at it from the point of view right now that Abdullah Umar Ganduji of APC-led administration then installed Aminu Ado Bayero as the emir and dethroned Muhammad Sanusi II. Meanwhile, with the coming of the NNPP-led administration now, the NNPP-led administration removed Aminu Ado Bayero without giving any excuses, without giving any reason for probably citing probably any lapses on his administration or giving him any letter and saying, look, you have been removed as a result of this. But rather, they said, we are removing Aminu Ado Bayero because we have dissolved the old, the new emirate created by the previous administration. And it has now been collapsed and put into one place, whereby we now have just only one Kano Emirate. And with that one Kano Emirate, the NNPP-led administration in Kano, led by Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, now dethroned Aminu Ado Bayero and reinstated Muhammad Sanusi II. So that is where the problem now lies, because people are looking at it from the perspective of political undertone, whereby it is like a fight between the APC administration and the NNPP administration. That is just what it simply means. So that is why an average Kano person is not protesting. An average Kano person is not jubilating either. So most people that are jubilating or protesting, they are supporters of the two camps.
Now, the youths in Kano have petitioned President Bola Tinubu asking him to intervene in the matter. Do you think that an intervention by the president will in any way solve matters?
Those are petitions. They didn't petition. It was a call, because a petition is supposed to be a complaint. But this was a call. It was a call that was sent to the president that please quickly intervene in the situation in Kano so that it will not degenerate into a situation of fiasco. So the call was made by Kano Peace Committee. It was Kano Peace Committee that wrote President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to intervene. It wasn't the youth of Kano. Because you see, the situation, as I told you, the majority of the people in the town are indifferent to the whole scenario, because people have been going about their normal businesses. So people are looking at those that are so much disturbed and concerned with the removal of Aminu Ado Bayero are mostly people that support and believe in Aminu Ado Bayero camp. And those that are in support of Muhammad Sanusi II are people that seriously believe in Muhammad Sanusi II administration. So it's not as if probably the residents are not disturbed with who becomes the emir, sort of. Because if the residents are bothered, you will have seen a situation whereby you will see an organic protest.
Our editor-in-chief, Solace-based online newspaper, Abdulatif Jos, thank you very much for lending your thoughts. We'll go on a short break. Please stay tuned. The program will continue shortly. Welcome back. We're still discussing the Emirship Tussle in Kano State. I'm now being joined by legal practitioner Evans Ufeli to speak more, give us more information from the legal standpoint. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Ufeli. Now, despite the court order, the state governor went ahead to reinstate Sanusi as the emir of Kano, arguing that the judge who issued the order was not physically present in Nigeria to issue such an order. Now, from the legal perspective, can a ruling be granted from any part of the world, or must it be done in that country?
A ruling should be done in an open court. That is what the law says. Another place that a ruling can be made is in the chambers of the judge. Those are the two places that you can have the ruling. But the truth is that even this case, the case under reference, the order was first even made. Okay, the order was first made before that judgment came. I mean, the governor himself has already reappointed Sanusi before. It was after the reappointment that someone went to court, someone who was aggrieved went to court to now, legislate the issue, to bring it before the courts for litigation to enforce its fundamental rights. Okay, so it is not that the court has already given an order and the governor went ahead and did what he did. No, what actually transpired was that the governor made the reappointment after the legislature had already, passed a new law that repealed the old law. And that new law abrogated those other emirates, four other emirates that were created. Now, this law took the Kano State Emirate system back to what it used to be before Ganduje. Now, what it therefore means is that now that the law has gone back to its former position, then the new emirate created under the regime of Ganduje, they cease to exist because there's no law now backing them. That's exactly what happened. But as to the issue of ruling can be granted in an open court or before the chamber of the judge.
Right, the state governor's action has resulted in Kano State having two emirs residing in separate palaces. And what is the likelihood of the people of Kano being loyal to these emirs while a judicial battle is underway?
He's even being arrested now or being asked to leave the state. Okay, so Sanusi is a substantive emir. There's not like two emirs. I know he moved back after the governor had reappointed Sanusi. The other emir came back. But right now, the current position is, as we speak now, there's a police action against him to leave the state, to leave the Emirates question. So I think it's out of the Emirate, or it's been led out of the Emirate now. So there are no two emirs in this case. The Sanusi is the one that the law recognized because the old law has been repealed by the new one. And since the old law has been repealed by the new one, it is the new one that will stand on. And that is what it should be under the law.
Currently, there are now two judgments, one from the Federal High Court ordering the state government not to enforce the Emirate Council Repeal Law 2024, which the State Commissioner of Police had earlier chosen to abide by, and another from the State High Court stopping the emirs from parading themselves as such in that capacity. Now, which judgment supersedes the other in this case?
The two courts in question have concurrent jurisdiction. That means they have powers of equal measure. But the truth is that the order of the first court is not as to stopping Sanusi from being the emir. It's to stop the implementation. The governor appointed, and the order is an interlocutory order. Interlocutory order under the law means it's a temporary order. And a temporary order is what the court will give in a situation where somebody has filed a case that is aggrieved, that he wants every party to stay action until the determination of the substantive suit, which is on fundamental rights enforcement. So the first order is to stop the action implementation of that reappointment temporarily. So they are adjourned to June 3rd to hear the substantive suit on the fundamental rights enforcement. Okay, that is the position.
Finally, let's discuss the politicization of traditional stools in Nigeria and how bad it has become. What's the implication of this if it continues without being checked?
The traditional institutions are placed under the state control. That is the fact. It's even under the local government control. So since it's placed under the state control, the governor have huge influence and powers, and the state house of assembly have the requisite responsibility to make laws to manage the local government system. So that is what it is. Now, that emirate system falls under the local authority, which has to be determined by the State House of Assembly. And in the case under reference, State House of Assembly have repealed an old law. Having repealed an old law, on the strength of that, the new governor, has reappointed a former emir, okay, who was deposed by the former governor. Now, there is no way you're going to leave traditional institution without the control of a superior power, because that will lead to chaos. That will lead to a situation where we might begin to have two rams drinking water from the same bucket at the same time. Okay, so it's important that the state control the local government or the emirate system. There's no way you can have them not be involved. So we should what we should condemn is that they should not become political entities. They should not become we should not politicize them. We should allow them to remain on their traditional status. Because once we politicize them, what you do is to create further chaos, and that will lead to breakdown of law and order.
Oh, we're on standby to see what happens in the coming days. Legal practitioner Evans Fraley, thank you for always making time out for us. Well, that's how much we can take on this episode of the program. We'll see you again next time. Bye for now.